Okay, this video is to cover what I found that was wrong with my 400E. I have a 1992 Mercedes 400E, and it would idle, but it would not. You could not rev the engine up. Basically, it was in limp mode. And what I found was it was faulted out. And what it ended up being was there was two problems. I had the this module here, which had the bad capacitors repaired, and that's the e-gas, or you'll see here it says like LLR. I'm pretty sure it's e-gas though. And then you have your base module. And so after I had this repaired, I went through with this breakout box to troubleshoot and clear out any codes. But the problem was whenever I got to number 7, which was the module for the e-gas, yeah, the LH is the one I had repaired. That's the one I had repaired with the capacitors. And the e-gas is the one I started having issues with. And the issue I had was I couldn't read a code. Turn the ignition on. When you turn the ignition on, this light would go out, should go out. And then you would press the button, your test button, and you'd get your codes. Problem was I had a light on all the time. So I had a ground somewhere. And I pulled up a schematic, and through troubleshooting, I was going to have to go through, and from what I could tell, and go through each one on the schematic, each component, to see which one was bad. And so what I did though, I cheated. I ended up basically, damaging this module here by flattening these tabs out. But what I was able to do was through this, and also using AI. AI gave me the confidence to know that with that ground, with that light on, and not able to read a code, that would put it into a limp mode because it's faulted out, which that, I thought was pretty obvious, but, I doubt myself a lot. But it's funny how AI would give me enough confidence to move forward to think that is the reason why it's running bad. But I have a weird way of troubleshooting, but as long as you figure out the problem, what does it matter? But I just wanted to share what I found though. Um, Through this, I found that I was still getting a fault all the way through to what I was thinking was could have been the wire going up to this number 7 pin. So I thought maybe it could have been the wire from the plug to the module, that wiring harness, but no, that's not what it was. So what I ended up doing, I ended up pulling these modules, but when I pulled the base module, the light went away. So what I did is I had another base module out of a SL500, which is a 95, and I swapped it out, and that cleared the fault. So this base module was causing a fault, a constant light for this module on troubleshooting. So I ended up swapping this one out. And this one was the same on the 1995 SL500 as it is for this 92 400E. So, yeah. Now, I'll go turn the key on and you'll see where this light goes out. And we'll go through and see if there's any, see if I have any fault codes. There's no light. But before I swapped this base module out, that light was on. So now, 1 1000, 2 1000, 3 1000, 1. That's it. No fault. Cool, huh? So, now before I figured out that was the problem, I went through and this car had sat for I'm gonna guess at least 15 years. As you can see, that needs to be cleaned. The needles are starting to fade because it sat outside. So I'm theorizing this was garage kept up until about 15 years or so ago. 15 years or so ago. I can't talk. Um, and I believe it was parked because it was wrecked here in the front. I think it was wrecked here. The sway bar was loose. It was off the bushing, so I reconnected that, and that's all I did with the front end. But I think it sat and those modules went bad. But through troubleshooting, trying to figure out how to get it running, I ended up cleaning the fuel tank, replacing the fuel pumps, the fuel filter, cleaning the injectors, cleaning the spark plugs. And so, but yeah, I bled the brakes, and it's running pretty good now. Some of the windows work, some of the windows do not work. But if anyone's having issues with their 400E or had one that they found that's been sitting, you got some extra modules sitting around, so swap those out. Obviously, cleaning the fuel system is very important. This shows this to have 200,000 miles, and it runs and drives really good. Even with everything that's dry rotted, that's made out of rubber, still runs and drives pretty good. The blower fan doesn't work. I got to figure that out. So that's going to be the next thing. I'm not sure what this is all for. I really don't know. I got fuses coming in to replace these old ones. That was really gross. That needs to be cleaned, but I do have fresh brake fluid in there. Yeah, let's take it down the road. All right, let's see how it does. They change out the exhaust to true dual exhaust straight pipe. It would sound really good.